Self-awareness is the foundation of everything you wish to achieve in life. If you do not know yourself, you are simply walking blindly through the world, moved by habits you never questioned, pulled by emotions you never understood, and guided by beliefs that might not even be your own. To change anything about your personality, to grow in confidence, or to create a meaningful life, the first step is always to face yourself. Not the image you show others, not the mask you wear in society, but the real you, the one that surfaces when you are alone, without distractions, without noise. That is where the truth begins. Every person thinks they know themselves, yet most live even patterns that they never took the time to examine. How do you react when criticized? Do you become defensive, angry, silent, or indifferent? How do you behave when you succeed? Do you share with humility or do you feed your ego? These moments reveal more about you than the identity you claim. To become aware is to look at these reactions without excuses, without blaming anyone, without running away. It is to say, this is me. And once you see clearly, then you can begin to change. Confidence is not built on pretending to be strong. It is built on knowing yourself so deeply that nothing outside of you can shake you. You cannot feel secure if you do not understand your own fears. You cannot be stable if you do not know what triggers your doubts. Imagine standing in a storm. If you don't know where your weaknesses lie, the wind will push you down easily. But if you have looked inside, if you have tested yourself, you know where to stand, how to breathe, how to endure. This is why self-awareness is not a luxury, it is survival. The truth is uncomfortable. It will show you parts of yourself you don't want to admit. Maybe you are lazy, maybe you complain too often, maybe you avoid responsibility, maybe you hide behind distractions like your phone or empty entertainment. But avoiding this truth is what keeps you stuck. The more you escape, the more you remain trapped in the same cycle. Self-awareness is the moment you turn around, stop running, and face what is inside. You do not judge, you do not punish yourself, you simply accept, because from acceptance comes clarity, and from clarity comes change. Every day you are given chances to practice awareness. When you feel anger rising, pause. When jealousy appears, pause. When fear whispers, pause. These emotions are not your enemies, they are signals. They are telling you where you need to grow. Most people react immediately, controlled by these feelings. But you, if you want to grow, must observe. Do not be the slave of your emotions. Be the one who sees them, understands them, and then chooses the response. That choice is where true confidence begins. Think of your mind as a mirror. If the mirror is dirty, it distorts the image. If your awareness is clouded by ignorance, lies, or excuses, you cannot see yourself as you truly are. Clean the mirror daily. Reflect on your actions at night. Ask yourself, did I live today the way I intended? Did I speak with honesty? Did I act with courage? Did I waste my time? This is not about judgment, it is about clarity. The clearer you become, the stronger your presence grows. A person without awareness will always be shaped by the world around them. They are like clay in the hands of others, friends, family, society, circumstances. But a person with awareness begins to shape themselves. They decide how to speak, how to act, how to walk, how to stand. They do not move unconsciously, they move with intention. This presence is what others feel as confidence. It is not loud, it is not arrogant, it is simply unshakable. Do not wait for the world to tell you who you are. Do not wait for approval or validation. Look inside and see. Be brutally honest with yourself. If you are weak, admit it. If you are afraid, admit it. If you lack discipline, admit it. Because only then can you rise above it. Pretending has never changed anyone. Awareness changes everything. The beginning of growth is always uncomfortable. You will resist the truth. You will try to turn away. But remember this. The very things you avoid looking at are the keys to your strength. Behind your fear lies your courage. Behind your anger lies your power. Behind your doubt lies your confidence. But you cannot unlock them until you face them. Each day, you have the chance to return to yourself, to breathe deeply, to look inwards, to ask, who am I today? What did I learn about myself? Where did I fail and how can I rise tomorrow? These simple questions, asked with honesty, will do more for your confidence than any trick, any external advice, any temporary motivation, because the one who knows themselves cannot be broken. Self-awareness is not a final destination. It is a daily practice. It is the act of walking into your own mind, sitting down with your own emotions, and listening without fear. It is the courage to stop running from yourself and to meet your true reflection. And once you do, you will discover that confidence was never something to be built from outside. It was always there, waiting for you, hidden beneath the noise. Discipline is the bridge between the life you dream of and the life you actually live. Without it, every intention remains an empty promise. Every goal just a fantasy. You can speak of change, you can think about success, you can desire transformation, but nothing happens until you create structure in your daily life. Discipline is not about punishment, it is about alignment. It is choosing to do what is necessary, not what is easy. And if you truly want confidence, growth, and strength of personality, you must learn to live with discipline every single day. The human mind is clever. It seeks shortcuts, it craves comfort, it whispers excuses. It tells you tomorrow will be better, start later, rest a little more. But growth never waits for tomorrow. Change is born only in the present moment. Each time you choose the path of comfort, you strengthen your weakness. Each time you choose the path of discipline, you strengthen your will. The question is simple: which part of yourself do you feed every day? A disciplined life begins with the small things. Waking up when you said you would. Finishing the task you promised yourself to complete. Training your body even when you feel tired. Reading instead of wasting hours in distraction. These are not meaningless actions, they are bricks. And brick by brick, they build the structure of who you become. If your daily actions are scattered, your life will be scattered. If your daily actions are focused, your life will be strong. Discipline is not about rigidity, it is about freedom. The undisciplined person is controlled by impulses, hunger, fear, laziness, desires. They move like a leaf blown by the wind, never steady, never centered. But the disciplined person chooses. They decide how to act, when to rest, when to push. They are not slaves of mood. They are masters of their own time. And that mastery radiates as confidence. When you know that you can command yourself, you need no one else to command you. Confidence grows from evidence. When you keep your promises to yourself, you begin to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you no longer fear the world. Imagine standing in front of a challenge. If you know you have trained your mind and body every single day, you stand tall. You have proof that you can endure. But if you have broken your own word again and again, you stand weak. You cannot fool yourself. Your daily routine is either your greatest ally or your silent enemy. There is no great transformation without repetition. You cannot meditate once and expect peace. You cannot train once and expect strength. You cannot study once and expect wisdom. Growth is not in the one big effort. It is in the steady rhythm of daily effort. Water does not cut through stone by force. It cuts through by consistency. The same is true for your life. Discipline is the water and you are the stone. Day after day, it shapes you. But discipline is not always dramatic. It is often quiet. No applause, no recognition, no spotlight. You rise when others sleep. You train when others complain. You learn when others waste time. It may feel invisible, but it is in these silent hours that the strongest character is built. And when the moment comes to be tested, when the world pushes against you, your preparation speaks. You do not need to prove yourself, your discipline already has. Do not think discipline is only about physical habits. It is also about the mind. Control your thoughts as you would control your actions. Do not allow negativity to dominate your inner world. Do not allow doubt to poison your focus. To discipline the body without disciplining the mind is incomplete. Both must move together like two legs of the same walk. When the body is strong and the mind is steady, your presence becomes unshakable. Every day is a test. The morning you wake up, your first decision begins the pattern. Do you delay or do you rise? Do you complain or do you give thanks? Do you waste time or do you create? These choices seem small, but together they shape the course of your entire life. The undisciplined person does not realize that every choice is a seed, and one day they wake up surrounded by a garden of weeds. The disciplined person, however, plants carefully each day, and in time they walk in a garden of strength, clarity, and confidence. Discipline is not something you wait to feel. You will not always be motivated. You will not always be inspired. Waiting for the right mood is a trap. Discipline means you move forward regardless of feeling. You train even when tired. You focus even when distracted. You act even when afraid. That ability to move without waiting for perfect conditions is the essence of inner power. If you want to improve your personality, if you want to walk with confidence, then look at your routine, not your words, not your dreams, but your routine. What do you do daily? That is your truth. And if you do not like what you see, change it. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, the path is clear. Build your discipline, and your discipline will build you. Structure your days with purpose, and purpose will structure your life. Confidence is not born from chance, it is carved from the daily rhythm of effort. When you master your routine, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, the world cannot help but feel your strength. Words have the power to build or destroy. Every time you open your mouth, you are shaping not only the way others see you, but also the way you see yourself. Your communication is a reflection of your inner state. If your words are unclear, scattered, negative, or weak, it shows the lack of strength within. But if your words are precise, confident, calm, and filled with intent, people feel your presence before you even finish speaking. The way you communicate is not a small detail. It is the mirror of your personality, and it is the foundation of confidence. Most people speak without awareness. They repeat what they have heard. They complain without thinking. They argue without listening. Their words are automatic, uncontrolled, and often harmful. Then they wonder why they are misunderstood, why they lack influence, why their relationships feel shallow. The truth is simple. If you want to grow as a person, you must learn to master your communication. Speaking is not just about sound. It is about energy, intention, and clarity. Confidence does not mean speaking loudly or dominating conversations. Confidence in communication means you know what you want to say and you express it with calm certainty. Your tone is steady, your words are chosen, and your silence is powerful. Sometimes the greatest strength is not in speaking more, but in speaking less, saying only what matters. This is where personality begins to shine. When people hear you, they do not only hear words, they feel the weight of your presence behind them. But communication is not only about your voice, it is also about how you listen. Many hear words but do not listen to the meaning. True listening requires silence in the mind, patience in the heart, and respect for the other person. When you listen fully without waiting to interrupt, without preparing your own reply while the other is still speaking, you create space. And in that space, people feel seen, valued, understood. This is rare and it makes your presence unforgettable. Think about how often you complain, criticize, or speak negatively. Each time you do, you weaken yourself. Negativity may feel powerful in the moment, but it drains your energy and poisons your presence. Instead, choose words that uplift even when the situation is difficult. This does not mean lying or pretending everything is perfect. It means speaking with awareness, with the intention to create growth instead of destruction. The disciplined tongue is one of the greatest marks of a strong personality. Your body also communicates long before your mouth opens. The way you stand, the way you move, your eye contact, your posture. These are languages that everyone understands. If you avoid looking into the eyes of others, if you fold your body small, if you fidget and hide, you are silently announcing your lack of confidence. But when you stand tall, breathe deeply, look directly, and move with calmness, your body declares strength without a single word. To improve your communication, you must train not only your speech, but also your physical presence. Every day you are given opportunities to practice. When someone asks you how you are, do you respond automatically or do you respond with awareness? When you meet someone new, do you shake hands with hesitation or with steadiness? When conflict arises, do you shout and lose control or do you remain composed, expressing yourself with clarity? Each of these moments is a test of your communication. Each is a chance to grow your confidence or to weaken it. If you want to transform your personality, start with the way you speak to yourself. The internal dialogue is the seed from which all external communication grows. If you constantly say, I am not good enough, I am weak, I cannot do this, then no matter what words you speak outwardly, people will sense the insecurity behind them. But if you train your mind to speak with strength, I am capable, I will endure, I can rise, then even in silence, your presence communicates confidence. Communication is not a trick to impress others. It is the art of aligning your inner world with your outer expression. When what you think, what you feel, and what you say are in harmony, people trust you. They can sense authenticity. They can sense that you are not pretending, not performing, but living truthfully. And this is the root of influence. Personality is not about showing off, it is about being real. To improve communication, you must also learn to master silence. Not every situation requires words. Sometimes silence speaks louder than sound. When you are silent in strength, others feel your control. They see that you are not desperate to fill space, not insecure about being quiet. Silence is not emptiness, it is presence. Use it wisely. The journey of self-growth always passes through communication. You cannot build relationships without it. You cannot inspire without it. You cannot lead without it. The way you communicate is the doorway between your inner self and the outer world. If the doorway is weak, everything that passes through it will be lost. But if the doorway is strong, everything that flows through it will carry weight, clarity, and power. Do not underestimate the small, daily moments of communication. A kind word, a calm response, a steady tone, an honest expression. These are the seeds of confidence. Over time, they grow into a personality that others respect, admire, and trust. And more importantly, they build a self that you can trust. Speak with intention, listen with patience, move with presence. This is how communication transforms from sound into strength. This is how your personality evolves into something unshakable. And this is how confidence becomes not just a mask you wear, but the truth of who you are. Life is movement. Nothing stays the same. The body changes, the mind changes, the world changes. Yet many people resist this truth. They cling to comfort, to what is familiar, to what feels safe. They fear challenge, they avoid failure, they hide from the unknown. But growth is never found in safety. Growth only begins when you step into what is uncomfortable, uncertain, and difficult. The mindset of growth is the willingness to face these moments not as obstacles, but as opportunities. Every challenge you meet in life carries a lesson. When you avoid the challenge, you avoid the lesson. When you face it, even if you fail, you grow. The mistake most people make is believing failure is the end. They treat failure as proof that they are not good enough. In reality, failure is feedback. It shows you what must be adjusted, what must be improved, where your weakness still hides. A growth mindset does not fear failure, it uses failure as fuel. Confidence is born in these moments. Not when everything goes perfectly, but when things fall apart and you learn to rise again. Each time you push against difficulty and endure, your spirit expands. Each time you confront fear and walk through it, your personality strengthens. Growth is not something given to you, it is something carved out of resistance, like a blade sharpened against stone. Your character becomes sharper every time you choose to face what others avoid. The fixed mind says, I am like this, I cannot change. This is just who I am. And with those words, growth dies. The growth mind says, I can learn, I can adapt, I can evolve. With those words, transformation begins. Who you are today is not the limit of who you can become. Your personality is not a cage, it is clay. Every day, through your choices, through your habits, through your challenges, you shape that clay. The question is, are you shaping it with intention, or are you letting the world shape it for you? When difficulties appear, most complain. They ask, why me? Why now? This attitude keeps them weak. A growth mindset asks instead, what is this teaching me? What strength can I build here? With that perspective, nothing is wasted. Even suffering becomes meaningful. Even pain becomes a teacher. If you can carry this attitude, then no circumstance in life has the power to defeat you. Look at nature. The tree grows strong not in perfect weather, but in the storms. Its roots dig deeper when the wind tests it. The human being is the same. Without challenge, you remain shallow. With challenge, you grow roots, you grow resilience, you grow strength. But only if you choose to see the storm as necessary instead of as punishment. A mindset of growth also requires patience. Change does not happen overnight. The seed does not become a tree in one day. The body does not become strong with one training. The mind does not become clear with one meditation. Too many people quit because they do not see immediate results. But growth is subtle. It happens silently, invisibly, until one day you realize you are no longer the same. The key is persistence. Keep showing up, keep learning, keep adjusting, and growth will come. Comparison kills growth. When you measure yourself against others, you either inflate your ego or crush your spirit. Both are poison. The growth mindset does not compare with others, it compares with yesterday. Am I stronger than I was? Am I calmer than I was? Am I wiser than I was? That is the only measure that matters. Step by step, day by day, progress builds. Small victories become great transformations. Growth also means stepping beyond identity. Do not trap yourself with labels. I am shy, I am weak, I am not confident. These words chain you to a past version of yourself. You are not a fixed story. You are a process, alive and changing. Every action you take rewrites who you are. Speak differently, act differently, choose differently, and you create a new self. Identity is not given. It is built. Confidence flows naturally when you live this way because you no longer fear being imperfect. You no longer fear falling down. You know that no matter what happens, you can learn, adapt, and rise again. That knowledge is unshakable. That mindset makes you unstoppable. You stop asking whether you can succeed, and you start asking how you can grow from the attempt. This mindset frees you from fear of judgment. Others may laugh, criticize, or doubt you. But if your focus is on growth, their voices cannot touch you. Because their opinion does not stop your learning. Their doubt does not block your evolution. You are no longer chasing perfection. You are chasing progress, and progress is always within your control. The truth is simple. The one who avoids growth lives the same year again and again, calling it a life. The one who embraces growth transforms each year into a new chapter, becoming more than they were before. You decide which life you will live. When you wake up each morning, remind yourself today, I will grow, not by avoiding struggle, but by entering it, not by fearing failure, but by learning from it, not by clinging to who I was, but by stepping into who I can become. This is the mindset that creates strength. This is the mindset that builds confidence. This is the mindset that transforms an ordinary life into an extraordinary one. Before you speak a word, before you take an action, you are already communicating. Your body is the first message the world receives. The way you walk, the way you stand, the way you sit, the way your eyes meet others, all of it reveals your state of mind. You cannot hide it. If you carry yourself with hesitation, if you shrink into yourself, if your shoulders drop and your gaze avoids others, people will sense weakness before you even open your mouth. But when your body is steady, upright, and alive with intention, you command respect without asking for it. Presence is felt before it is heard. Most people think confidence begins with thoughts. In reality, it also begins with posture. The body shapes the mind as much as the mind shapes the body. When you sit collapsed, when you move nervously, when you avoid standing tall, your own mind begins to believe you are small. But when you open the chest, stand rooted, breathe deeply, your mind aligns with your posture. You start to feel what your body is declaring: strength, certainty, balance. Do not underestimate the power of eye contact. To look directly, calmly, without aggression but without fear is to declare that you are present. Most avoid the gaze of others because they are unsure of themselves. Their eyes wander, they break contact, they hide. But when you can hold your gaze steady, people know you are grounded. It is not about staring to intimidate. It is about looking with awareness, with sincerity. The eyes carry truth, and truth builds trust. Your movements also tell your story. If you move quickly, nervously, as if always in a rush, people feel your restlessness. If you fidget, tap, or shift endlessly, they feel your uncertainty. But if your movements are calm, deliberate, measured, they feel your control. Each step, each gesture becomes part of your presence. Think of a warrior. He does not need to prove his power with noise. His silence, his steady steps, his calm hands already communicate mastery. Presence is not about being the loudest in the room. It is about being the one who does not need to demand attention, because attention naturally flows to you. This happens when body and mind are aligned, when you carry yourself with intention. People feel drawn to someone who is centered, someone who is not scattered, someone who simply is. To cultivate presence, you must train awareness of how you enter a space, how you sit among others, how you breathe when you are observed. Small details, but together they create an aura that cannot be ignored. Breathing is the foundation of presence. Most breathe shallow, quick, and unconscious. Their energy is unstable, their voice trembles, their body feels restless. But when you breathe deeply into your belly, when your breath is slow and controlled, your body relaxes, your voice deepens, your energy stabilizes. In that stillness, others feel safe around you. Your calmness becomes their calmness. The one who controls his breath controls his presence. Confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance is loud. It pushes outward. It seeks to dominate. True confidence is quiet. It does not need to prove itself. It simply exists. The body language of arrogance is exaggerated. Chest puffed, chin lifted too high, gestures too wide. It tries to force attention. But the body language of real confidence is balanced, shoulders open but relaxed, chin steady, movements grounded. It does not seek approval, and that is why it earns respect. If you want to grow your personality, study your body as carefully as you study your mind. Stand in front of a mirror and observe. How do you carry yourself? Do you look alive or do you look defeated? Do you walk with intention? Or do you drag your feet as if the world is a burden? These details reveal more about you than your words. To change your presence, change the way you hold yourself each day. Practice standing tall, walking with rhythm, breathing with depth. Over time, your body teaches your mind to believe in your own strength. Presence also means being here fully. Most are distracted. Even when their body is in the room, their mind is elsewhere, thinking of the past, worrying about the future. People feel this absence. They sense you are not really there. But when you are fully present, listening, observing, breathing, the energy changes. People feel your focus. They feel that nothing is pulling you away. That level of attention is rare, and it makes your presence powerful. Remember, you cannot fake presence. If you pretend to be confident while your mind is full of fear, the body will betray you. The hands will shake, the eyes will shift, the voice will crack. Presence comes from practice, from training body and mind together until stillness becomes natural, until steadiness becomes effortless. Then you no longer need to act confident. You simply are. Every day, you have the chance to practice. in the way you walk to work, in the way you stand in line, in the way you sit at a table. Each moment is an opportunity to train your presence. Be aware, slow down, straighten the spine, breathe deep, look directly, move with purpose. These small acts repeated daily create an aura that others will feel immediately. The world does not remember the one who talks the most. It remembers the one whose presence cannot be ignored. Become that person. Shape your body into a message of strength, stillness, and confidence. Let your presence speak before your words ever do. When you master your body language, you master one of the most powerful tools of self-growth. And when your presence is strong, your personality shines effortlessly without needing to prove anything at all. Learning does not end when school ends. Learning is life itself. The day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. Too many people believe that once they have a job, a degree, or some stability, they are complete. They settle into routine, repeating the same actions, thinking the same thoughts, speaking the same words. Years pass, but nothing changes. Inside, they remain the same. This is why their confidence does not grow, their personality does not evolve. To remain alive in spirit, you must learn every single day. Continuous learning is not only about books or studies, it is about curiosity. It is the hunger to understand, to explore, to expand your mind beyond what you already know. The world is filled with teachers, experiences, failures, challenges, even strangers you meet for only a moment. If you are awake, everything teaches you. But if you move through life asleep, you miss all the lessons that could have made you stronger. A stagnant mind becomes rigid. It resists new ideas, clings to old beliefs, fears change. This rigidity shows in the personality, narrow-minded, defensive, insecure. But a learning mind remains open. It welcomes new knowledge. It adapts. It transforms. Such a person carries freshness wherever they go. You feel it when they speak, when they listen, when they act. They are not trapped in yesterday. They are alive in today, always evolving. Confidence is not pretending to know everything. Confidence is knowing you can always learn what you do not know. The one who learns daily does not fear the unknown. They may not have the answer yet, but they trust their ability to discover it. This trust is powerful. It frees you from insecurity because you no longer depend on perfection. You depend on growth. Learning requires humility. You cannot learn if you believe you already know. The ego resists learning because it fears looking weak. But there is no weakness in learning. Weakness is pretending to understand when you do not. Strength is admitting you are a student of life forever. When you live with this humility, people respect you because they see you are real, they see you are open, they see you are not afraid to grow. Every mistake is a lesson disguised as pain. The undisciplined mind complains when it fails. The learning mind reflects. It asks, what did this teach me? Where can I adjust? How can I improve? With this approach, nothing is wasted. Every setback becomes fuel. Every loss becomes training. This way of living makes you unstoppable because nothing can truly defeat you if everything teaches you. Reading, listening, observing. These are simple practices, but their effect is deep. A single page of wisdom, if applied, can change your life. A single conversation, if listened to carefully, can reveal truths you never saw before. Knowledge is everywhere, but you must be willing to reach for it. Too many scroll endlessly through distractions, yet claim they have no time to learn. But time is always there. It is only a matter of what you choose to feed your mind. Learning also requires action. Information without practice is dead. You can read about discipline, but if you do not practice it, it remains only words. You can study confidence, but if you never step forward, you will never feel it. Growth happens when knowledge becomes experience. Take what you learn, test it in your daily life, refine it, live it. That is how wisdom is born. A person committed to learning is never boring. Their personality shines because they are full of new perspectives, new insights, new energy. They are not repeating the same stories, the same complaints. They bring freshness into conversations. They bring solutions into problems. They bring inspiration into silence. Others feel drawn to them because growth is magnetic. People want to be around someone who evolves. Do not think learning is only about skills or facts. Learn about yourself. Learn about your emotions, your thoughts, your reactions. Observe the patterns of your mind. This inner learning is the deepest of all. Without it, external knowledge becomes shallow. The more you learn about your inner world, the more power you gain to master it. And when you master yourself, you become unshakable. Continuous learning is endless. There is no final destination, no point where you can say, "No, I know enough." Life itself is too vast. The moment you think you have arrived is the moment you begin to decline. Stay a student forever. Even when you teach, remain a student. Even when you succeed, remain a student. Even when you are respected, remain a student. This humility keeps you sharp, alive, and ever growing. Each day, ask yourself, what did I learn today? Even a single insight, a single reflection is progress. Over time, these small lessons build into great wisdom. And wisdom, carried daily, shapes your confidence, refines your personality, and elevates your life. The truth is simple. You do not need to know everything today. You only need to learn something today. And then again tomorrow. Step by step, knowledge becomes strength, strength becomes confidence, and confidence becomes freedom. Keep learning, and you will keep becoming. Stop learning, and you stop becoming. The choice is yours.